Perfect. Hey guys, if you have a Yamaha SuperJet, either a square nose or a round nose, all years, we have products specifically for these watercraft. And what I'm talking about is our rear sponsons, we got front sponsons and ride plates. And in this video, we're gonna talk specifically about this year model, but it kind of applies to all of them as well, of why to buy these products and how to put them on. So I have our fatty front sponsons, which these things have been super popular. They're great on the SuperJets, the Cowies, whatever you got. This is a great universal sponson. We have our most proven ride plate. This is for the square nose and the round nose. We have a little bit different version for the latest two-stroke SuperJet. Get our silicone. It's industry proven. Everyone loves a silicone. It's cost effective. It works awesome. It dries really fast. It goes well with our product. Now, starting off, we're going to install our XL rear sponson. Now, all year SuperJet. This is a great wedge style sponson. Nice long blade. The long blade gives you great straight line stability and great turning feel. So if you're riding one of the older SuperJets and it's kind of all over the place, this one product right here will make a world of difference. So we're going to talk to you about installing it. So what do you think? We kind of got a clamp here, right?
How do I know where placement is the correct placement for this?
So basically, this sponson really kind of fits in one spot. And most importantly, you want to make sure that it's tucked up inside the bond flange. So you'll have to remove the stock hardware on the side here and then one on the back for it to go up into the ski and for it to fit. Importantly, you want to make sure that the gap between the sponson and the hull is nice and tight. Make sure you got in the right spot. You need to make sure this is all the way up against the hull. You don't want any sort of gap right here. And the same goes for the rear. You want to make sure that there's no gap and it's pushed all the way up as high as possible. This line across the sponson here, and this should run pretty much parallel with the bond flange. Now, if this line is hanging down too much one way or another, you can see we have a like a C vice grip clamp here with a piece of wood here to kind of squeeze it up into place, because the sponson kind of has a little bit of a bow in it, so we're trying to squeeze it up into place. And if it doesn't seem to be fitting, like you can't get the gap to fit really well, like for some reason it's being held up, you may want to take it off and inspect. So take this off, drop it down. Now you may have like a mark on it or something from like a screw or a rivet, or possibly if you had a different sponson there and you had silicone in there or any sort of like Bondo or a hull repair, that could leave imprints into the sponson. That may give you an indication to look up underneath to see if there's any damage or anywhere. It looks like this is pretty clean underneath here. So those are like indications like, why isn't it fitting and what do I need to do to get it to fit? Okay. So you want to make sure that your ski is original and that it hasn't been manipulated so the sponson is fighting its way up. So.
Okay, so after you get the correct fitting and everything on it, what would you do next? Okay,
well, I really like this clamp. Not everyone has this clamp, but it is a good way if you have one. You can see how it really squeezes it up in there. How's the gap on the back side?
There's a big gap.
There's a big gap. Can you squeeze it so it... There we go. See, it needed to kind of...
Oh, now it's gone.
Yeah, you see how the sponson kind of rotated into place?
Yeah.
Now, if you look from the back, you see the blade, how it's kind of slightly leaning in?
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want the blade to slightly lean in. You don't want the blade to lean out, right? So in the front feels really good. Feel the front there. See that?
Oh, yeah.
Fits really good. So the first step I like to do is I like to kind of mount the front hole. And generally you kind of want to use like the screws or the rivets, whatever you have, whatever year you have. But you'll take this out and you want to make sure the front bolt goes no more than 1 inch in. So if you need a tape measure to measure it, I would, but you kind of want it somewhere within 1 inch. You don't want to go 2 or 3 inches in, or the front part of the sponson will break off. Okay. So it's super important that you get it to the first bolt to go right there. So that would be the first thing we do. So let's take this screw out and let's do it.
Okay.
I don't think there's any nuts
Yeah.
on it. It's just a screw through there. The other little trick I like to do, because it's really hard to see the front of the sponson, right? So I'll take a piece of tape. Yeah, thank you. And I'll find the front of the sponson, and I'll kind of put this right in front of where the sponson is, like right there, and then I'll bring it up to the front. Now we know how far in that that hole is. It's a little bit close to the front of the sponson. It could break off. So when we go to drill it, we may kind of try to favor the hole over a little bit. I would like it to see, let's grab a Sharpie here. So if this is the front of our sponson, somewhere about 1 inch, I'm gonna say no more than 1 inch, so let's go like 3/4 of an inch. So we kind of want to be like somewhere like right there, you know? Definitely don't want to be any more than 1 inch. Super important. So we're like 3/4 of an inch. I kind of like it right there. Okay. And unfortunately, we're right next to a screw. What are you going to do? We'll put the screw back in. We'll make a new hole. Just kind of how it goes. We can't control what Yamaha does. These screw holes, they move all over the place. Sometimes it's here. Sometimes it's back here. It just comes with the territory. So let's get our drill gun, and then we'll tell them what size drill bit we go through it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a look at the instructions. You know, it's saying 2007 to 2020, but we're going to change that to 1990 to 2020. Here's all the hardware that will come on it, and the washer. You get a couple nuts. You only need nuts for the front 2 bolts, 1 on each side. So that'll give you a good look, and then that'll take you to another instruction video specifically on that year model. But here you go. Little anti-seize, never hurt. Okay, tell me what tools you got.
All right, so I have the 4 Allen head, and then I have a 10mm wrench.
Okay. Okay, so you got a washer on the bumper side. You know, the bumpers, it's when it gets hot outside, that plastic melts, and you definitely need a washer on there with that bolt. And then, are you doing a washer on the inside or no washer on the inside? What do you think? Should we washer it or not?
Yeah.
Let's get a washer. Okay, washer on inside and outside. What are we gonna do about that front screw? Maybe we'll put that in after, huh? We're just pre-fitting right now. This is just sort of a dry mock-up. I say dry because we're gonna come back with some silicone as well, right?
Yes. What does the silicone do for it though?
So the silicone is gonna help seal the sponson to the hull because there's a lot of water pressure with jet ski parts. So when you get water coming up and shooting between this area there, it's good to have a little silicone to seal it up. Okay, so we got the front bolt mocked up. The next step is going to be coming over here to the rear 2 bolts. Now this is where we suggest starting with your stock hardware. And there is no aluminum, there's no nut that's going to go behind there. You're going to rely on the thickness of the material. Hold that up for me. So we're going to be drilling into this area here, right? And you're going to rely on the material to create threads for these back 2 bolts. So what size drill bit do we have?
We have a 4mm.
It's a 4mm drill bit, and we're gonna
stock hardware and before
we're gonna use the stock hardware, yeah. So we'll just do one at a time.
After we drill into the HFC with the 4mm drill bit, we're going to take the stock hardware and we're going to put it into the side.
You sound like a little old lady. You got a crackly voice or something? What's going on there? Is that working? You got to really push into the HFC to thread it.
It's going a little bit.
Yeah? Okay. I'll help you a little bit. There is no torque spec on this. You kind of just need to get it as snug as you can. This is also a step where we're just pre-fitting.
What happens if you make the hole a little too big for the stock hardware?
So you can go up to the 6mm bolt.
All right.
How'd that feel?
Tough.
You think it's tight enough?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do the next one. So you didn't, that was pretty easy actually, right?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty hard to screw it up.
Yeah, it would, but.
Okay, well at least you got a backup plan in case you do. So, all right, do the next one. Let's see. There you go. Was that really that difficult after you've done it now?
No.
The other side's going to be way easier, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's just the first side, understanding what you're up against. Yeah. This is what we're trying to tell our customers, right? This is to give them that experience. Hopefully this video helps them. All right, so you said there's one more?
Yes, right here.
Oh yes, the back one here. Same thing. Now this is, how is it fitting back here? Feel pretty good?
Yeah. There's a small gap right there.
Let me get a camera shot there. Looks like it's tucked up in there pretty good.
Yeah.
So same thing, we're gonna drill in, use the stock hardware with this 4mm drill bit. All right, go for it. All right, you had a question you want to ask me?
How do I know how deep to make the hole in it? How far with the drill?
How far in do you go?
Yes.
Grab the screw. Hold the screw up to the drill bit. Okay, that's about how deep you're gonna go on the drill bit. Now, if you can't remember that, you can always grab a little piece of tape and you can put it on the drill bit to give you a reference.
Is it okay to go a little bit more than the size of the bolt?
Absolutely, yeah. But you don't need to go too much more because you can see how far in the bolt's gonna go. You don't need to go any further than that.
Okay.
Does it go in deep enough? Looks like you need to go a little more, huh? There you go. Looks like you got it now. Is it difficult to screw it in or thread it with the bolt? Seem pretty easy?
Yeah, it's a
little bit tough, huh?
It's tight, but
would you suggest doing it with a drill gun or by hand is probably better?
Probably by hand's better.
By hand, yeah. I think so too. Screw gun can put it in a little too aggressively and it could strip it out. So just using a screwdriver might be the best way. Till you get arm pumps.
Yeah.
I can see you struggling.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Almost there.
All right, she'll get there.
There.
We have one up here and a couple way back here, and there's really no support in the center of this. Realistically, if you want to overdo it, we would do bolts, and both of these we would take out the screw, drill it, run a bolt in. Take out the screw, drill it, put a bolt in. Take the screw out, and we have a drill bit that is about 5.1 millimeters. Yeah.
Slightly smaller.
A smaller drill bit is definitely ideal. Don't want it too big.
Yes, because then it won't.
That's a good trick, Ashley. Thank you for teaching our followers.
It's one of my favorite ones that I've learned.
Are you subscribed to our YouTube channel, Ashley?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay, so you've drilled it. You're now threading in the supplied hardware.
But you won't need the nut for it though, because you're going straight into the HFC. So you're unable to get to the backside of this to be able to get a nut on there.
I saw you put a little anti-seize on that thread. Even though we're not using a nut, it's not a bad idea, right? Because you're basically threading the HFC at this point. So a little grease to help cut the threads in. You're sort of forcing threads in with the hardware. So
makes it a little easier to get it to go into it, to grab it.
Exactly. Yep. You know, we're going to get a lot of questions on how much torque can I put on the threads that are in this material. You kind of feel it, right? You can kind of feel it being snug.
Yeah.
You don't need to overdo it, right? We're not torquing. Would that be right to say?
Yes, absolutely.
It's really not that hard, is it?
After the first one you do, you'll have it down, no problem. So start squeezing into the bumper right here. You'll see it kind of indent a little bit. That's when you know it's starting to get pretty tight on there. So.
All right. And it's not going to sag anymore. It kind of holds it in place too. Talk to me, Ashley. What are the steps? Step one.
All right, so we're going to clean it off first, the ski and the part. Make sure that there's no debris anywhere.
Okay.
But before we do that, we're going to put that other screw back in, the stock screw.
Put the stock screw in. Okay.
But we silicone everything, so we're going to put a little silicone in here.
Just a little bit in the hole, right? Not much. There you go. You can take off the tape. Okay. All right.
All right, so how much silicone do you use for this part?
So important areas of silicone are going to be the front half. So we're going to say around the bolt here, and then definitely up on the beginning of the wedge. And then I'd like to put a little bit, maybe along this edge here, just a little bit, you know, to give it some support. And then you're definitely, here's our two screw holes, you know, one there, one there. We're going to put some silicone in there. And then, of course, across the top there, along the back, we want to make sure that that attaches to the ski as well. Everywhere there's a mounting point, we're going to have silicone.
Okay.
All right, you got that? You know how much to put on? I'll tell you when. This is her first time, folks. All right, she's learning as we go.
Would I put it around the hole as well, or just near it?
I would.
Okay.
I would go around the hole. That's fine. You obviously don't want to put so much that it makes a mess. And then at the front.
Oh yeah, the top up here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, that should be fine.
And you said along
a couple spots, you know, there and then maybe skip. You know, just to give a little bit of integrity. And the two mounting holes. Mostly just around the holes. You don't have to do much more than around the holes. And then into, and
then about right here?
Yep, right at the tip there. Yep, that should be fine.
What would be the first indicator for me to
Yeah, you kind of want to just get it back up in the same place it was without smearing silicone everywhere. Just do your best. Yeah, you might have put a little bit too much silicone there. See it all squeezing out?
Yes.
That's kind of annoying. Okay, now you want to get your front bolt in. It was kind of nice when we had the clamp and the wedge. Do you want to put this back on there?
Sure.
Gives you an extra free hand here.
Yeah.
Obviously your cameraman is useless. There you go. Now you got both hands. All right, start with that front bolt. Watch out for the silicone too, because if you bump into it, you don't want to spread silicone all around the ski.
Should I wipe it off?
Just be, yeah, wipe it or be cautious of it.
Okay.
So you got bolt, washer, then you're doing another washer, and then the nut.
Yes.
Perfect. You're already bumping in the silicone, huh?
No, it's on the back side. I went through the hole.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to want to look at, obviously wipe the silicone nice and clean that's sticking out there. And then in the front as well, you want to wipe that nice and smooth so it makes a good seal on that leading edge of the wedge. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Double checking the hardware. Make sure it's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can move on to the back two bolts, or the back three, I should say. Okay. Well, this is final install. We got the front bolt in. Now we're going to these back three.
Yes.
What happens, Ashley, if you're screwing this in and it strips out on you? What is the customer going to do at this point? Obviously, you can't run a stripped out bolt. We need it to grab well, right?
And that's why we provide hardware with the instructions as well to go with these parts, that in case that does happen, then we can go up to a slightly larger bolt without going to too large of a bolt.
Yeah, because a stock bolt is 5 millimeters. So if you strip out the 5 millimeter, we provide a 6 millimeter.
Yes.
Right?
And it makes it to be able to grab still, even though one got stripped out.
Yep, that hole that's stripped out will now be perfect about to put in the 6 millimeter bolt. And you definitely want to make sure that it feels nice and snug.
There you go.
Does that feel pretty tight?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So that material, our HFC, our hybrid flex composite, does hold threads quite well. Okay.
Right.
Keep going.
Next one.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm looking in here to see if the silicone is all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Can
also
squeeze
checking
out a
the
little
gap.
bit?
A tiny bit, but there is
Perfect.
a slight gap in there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can we squeeze it with our hand?
A little bit.
Yeah.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Hopefully when you put the bolt in, that it comes together. A little bit of a gap is not the end of the world. Obviously, the tighter, the better. So,
Oh yeah, I feel the gap getting slightly smaller.
is it?
Yeah.
So, okay. So we did a good job drilling and threading in the bolts on our dry mock-up. So after you get in that last bolt and wipe the silicone, what's last? What's the last step? This is a trick question.
The last step would be to wait for the silicone to dry before
Boom. And that's why she still has a job here, folks. I'm just kidding. Of course she does. She's a badass. That's it. Really, it's waiting for the silicone to dry, which you shouldn't have to wait very long if it's hot out. If you're dead of winter and you live in Michigan, you're not riding anyways. So wait 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to go jet skiing. So that's our plan. Anyways, that is kind of our install. Of course, you want to do the same to the other side. We don't need to do both sides on this video. That just gives you a good inside look of the tips and tricks of installing our XL rear sponson, which will fit the square nose, the round nose like we have here. This is a 2000 round nose. And this same sponson also fits on the 2020, the Yamaha SuperJet 2-stroke from Watercraft.